welcome everyone to another episode of The Lunch Break. I am your host, Jordan Kenchen, and it's good to be back in New York. I love New York, as you all may know. I do have family from here, but I spent a large portion of my young life and adult life here. I feel like it's very convenient. I'm always able to do a lot of work in New York, that of which we're here now to do, WTF Media Studios, my infamous lunch break show. As of recent though, a lot of my work has been coming from fatherhood. If you don't know, now you know I am a father. My beautiful baby girl, she is amazing, but she is a piece of work, okay? Let's just leave it at that. And as much good as I have with being a father, it comes with its challenges, right? One of the biggest challenges that I've been facing as of recent is school. Now, she's not yet ready to enter school. You know, she's only a year, but I'm planning it ahead of time because this is her future that I'm talking about. So I wanted to get a jump start of things early, and honestly, I just fell into the rabbit hole. It's so many different ways that I could go about it to try to set my kid up to live the best life. And that's honestly what all of us want as parents. We just want the best for our kids. Now, I'll be specific with you. We're, as a family, trying to decide on where should we put her as far as private school. At what age level do we want to introduce her to these things? The problem with that, me, individually, I've never experienced private school, right? And she will be the first of my family to be introduced to private school. So, me as a parent, I'm trying to do my due diligence, do my research in this, because I feel like what a lot of my generation had to focus on is figuring it out, right? Me, probably like a lot of you all, I was the first generation to go to college. So although it's a little bit different than private school, I was the first person, I was the guinea pig, so to speak, right? So the problem with being the guinea pig, no one's able to really guide you the correct way. They can only tell you so much of what they don't know, right? And that was a large problem that I had with picking the right college, because most of my family didn't know much about college. So just attending college itself was a great accolade, was a great achievement. And it's so much deeper than that. It takes actually knowing and experiencing these things to be able to decide what's the right play to make, right? A lot of people, a lot of us, for first generation college students, we didn't take the time to understand, well, why do I want to go to college? All right. Where should I go for college that benefits me the most? What are the actual benefits of going to college? For a lot of us, it was just pleasing our parents, making sure that they were happy. But again, things are so much deeper than that. So for me, myself, I did attend college, all for the wrong reasons, right? I did it so that my mom could be happy. I went somewhere that I was familiar with and my friends were going. I went somewhere that was pretty close to home. And I had no real idea of why I really wanted to go to college for me, or why I thought that college would benefit me. I was uneducated. I went with what I knew. I did study business, which luckily I still so happen to do. But for a lot of people, that's not the case. They go and they study something and they end up in a whole completely different career. So the problem with this, now by the time that I've able to gather, all right, this is the actual benefit of college, I've already racked up all of this debt that I didn't necessarily need. Or if I were to get that debt, it would have been better had I made a more strategic move, right? It would have been worth the money at that point. But again, I'm uneducated. The people that are guiding me are uneducated. It's just a mess. Essentially, it's the blind leading the blind, right? So Here's what's important as far as my generation for fixing the problem. Because I've noticed a lot of my generation saying, well, I'm just not gonna make my kid go to college. I won't force college upon them. That's been the big argument that my generation has coming for the next generation of people, our kids that we're raising. And I'm here to say that's the wrong decision to make. We're doing the same thing, passing our traumas down to our kids. When is that ever okay? You feel like because you were forced to make a decision that you, in fixing that trauma, you're just not going to give your kid the position of forcing that upon them. You feel like if I take away the feeling of pushing them towards something, that ultimately it'll make them happier. And I'm here to say, guiding someone, you're not always going to do what's going to make them happy. We're going to do what makes them the best version of themselves. How do we make the best version of themselves for our kids? We sit up there and we do the research. All right, we don't take the easy way out and say it's better to just not go to college. It is actually better to go to college. It's better if we know what we're getting into when we're going into college, right? So for me and my child, I've realized I'm going to push her to go toward an Ivy League school. Now, will I force her to finish college? Absolutely not. But college is worth the experience. Why is college worth the experience? Because it's about getting a good network of people. People say it all the time. It's really not about what you know, it's about who you know. And in college, you can get that exact network of people that's going to help you out later on in life. These are people that if you're trying to get a good job, they may be the ones that help get you into a good job, right? If you're trying to be an entrepreneur, these are the people of the next generation that's going to be those next entrepreneurs, right? These are people that can help you grow as a person. Did I see this at the time being in college? Absolutely not. All I was worried about was my own life, getting girls, partying, all the wrong reasons, right? Which as kids, you're going to do that. It's okay. But I'd rather my kid do that while still being around the right network of people and getting the right knowledge. It just balances it all out, right? Instead of just going all negative on top of I'm not receiving the right curriculum to help guide me into the direction that I need to go in. So I'm going to force my daughter to go to an Ivy League school, even if it's just for a semester. Because honestly, those Ivy League schools, like I said, these are the future tech owners. These are the future crypto owners, things of that nature. I know it'll benefit her in the long run. You have to ask yourself, how can I make sure that my children are going to be benefited in the long run? Because quite honestly, these kids are very, very impressionable, right? And if we don't fix the past traumas, if we just continue passing it down, they're going to make the same mistakes and it just looks like a different way. So now we're going to force a whole new generation of kids to not have any degree, even though I will say I do know the degree is becoming less valuable as we move on. But I'm just going to play devil's advocate. We're forcing our kids to not have a degree, to be essentially lost in the sauce, right? We're not telling them, hey, you should be this, you should study this, and this takes this amount of work to get done. We're not giving them any direction. We're essentially letting them lead themselves. And what did I say in the beginning? It was the blind leading the blind with my decision going into college. That's what we're doing again, having the blind lead the blind. We're a generation of we didn't really figure things out necessarily until they were too late. We're giving our kids the same mistake. They're not going to be able to really figure things out until it's too late. Then you have to think about the effects that social media is having on these kids, right? Along with not going to college, you have social media negatively impacting their lives. Let's dive into that for a second.